Hello children, Sai Ram. Welcome back to Social Studies class. Children, today we will revise chapter number 19, The Struggle for Independence. This is our revision part 1. In this chapter, we shall know more about evil practices in ancient India, social reformers, the rise of Indian nationalism, and we will also know more about important leaders. Before we begin with our chapter number 19, let us have a quick recall about what we studied in chapter number 18, that is the British Raj and the First War of Independence. We saw that the British traders entered India for trading. Do you remember, children? For what purpose did the British enter in India? Yes, for trading. But with what did they trade with India? Yes, they traded in mainly spices and textile. Okay, so slowly and steadily the British started gaining control over India. All the decisions that the British made were for the benefits of the Britain, and it was harmful for India. The clever British also charged heavy taxes on Indian goods. The farmers were forced to grow indigo and cotton. Do you remember? These were the raw materials for the factories which were in the Britain. So the British used to carry these raw materials to Britain. They converted into the finished goods and they brought it back in India for selling. The raw materials the British used to purchase at very low cost, and they sold it in finished goods at very high cost. So there was the widespread discontent among the Indians because of the British rule, and due to this the people came together, they got united, okay, and they started the fight, and this led to the first revolt. Okay, this led to the first revolt. Now children, tell me, when did the first revolt take place? Do you remember the year? Yes, the first revolt took place in the year 1857. Yes, the first revolt took place in the year 1857. So, before the revolt of 1857, there were some educated people who realized that there were many social evils in the Indian society. Now, what do you mean by social evils? So, social ills or social evils usually refers to something troublesome and harmful. Okay, so social evils are issues or matters that affects one or more members of the society, or it is also called as harming the welfare of the society. Okay, so there were some educated Indians who realized that there was a lot of social ills in the Indian society. So they believed system like killing female babies, which is also called as female infanticide, child marriage, sati system, caste system, etc. should be eradicated or should be removed from the society. So these were all social evils that divided the entire society and kept it backward. So there were some educated people who realized that removal of these outdated customs and superstitions were very necessary for the progress of the Indian society. Children, do you remember some of the names of the social reformers? Yes, recall. Fine. First of all, tell me, what do you mean by social reformers? A social reformer is someone who tries to change and improve something such as a law or a social system. Okay, a social reformer who comes forward and takes some steps, some major steps, and make the people aware of the society. Okay, so these people are called as social reformers. Okay, social reformers wanted to bring some reforms in the society. So let us see who were the social reformers. Okay, so some of the most prominent social reformers are here on the screen. This image is of Rajaram Mohan Roy, a great reformer. Then here we have the image of Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. Here we have the image of Dayanand Saraswati. And here is the image of Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. And here is the image of, can you guess, children? Yes, Savitribai Phule. Okay, so these were the most prominent social reformers who believed that they will bring some positive change in the Indian society. Now, along with the rise of social reformers, there was also a rise of Indian nationalism. The revolt of 1857 made the people of India realize the justice of British rule and the value of freedom. The people most affected by this thinking were the educated Indians. They became more and more unhappy and dissatisfied. That is, they were angry on the British. Many of these people and some Englishmen who supported the educated people came together. Okay, they came together in the year 1885 and formed the Indian National Congress. Okay, what did they form? Yes, they formed Indian National Congress. The Indian National Congress had its first session at Bombay, which is now called as Mumbai. Okay, and here is the image on the screen with all the members who were present in this first session. Okay, after this session, every year they met at different places or different cities. Now, at first, the Indian National Congress did not raise the question of freedom from the British rule. The main demand for this session was to bring reforms or to bring changes so that Indians could lead a more free and a better life under the British rule. So the the important leaders at that time were called as moderates. Okay, now what do you mean by moderates? The people who demanded reforms in the society so that Indians could lead a more free and a better life under the British rule. So what are they called as? They are called as moderates. Okay, repeat along with me. The people who demanded reforms in the society so that Indians could lead a more free and a better life under the British rule are called as moderates. Okay, so they wanted the people of India to live in a free atmosphere but under the British rule. So who were those leaders? They were Dadabhai Navroji, then Gopal Krishna Gokhale, Bhumesh Chandra Banerjee. These leaders were called as moderates. However, several other leaders were not in favor of these soft approaches. Okay, they felt that they would gain nothing by following these moderates. Okay, they preferred a stronger and more active opposition to the British, and those were called as extremists or radicals. Okay, now the moderates were very soft, they had very soft approach, whereas the extremists or the radicals, how were they? Let's see. Extremists or radicals preferred a stronger and more active opposition to the British and wanted Swaraj, that is self-rule for the Indians. Okay, so first we saw that those leaders were very moderate, that means very soft, and here are the different leaders who are very extremist, that is who are the radicals. They are very stronger compared to the moderates. Let's see who are the radicals. So here are the images of the radicals, that is extremist leaders. Okay, and they are Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Bipin Chandrapal and Lala Lajpat Rai. Okay, so these were the extremist. Children, I hope the concept of moderates and radicals are clear to you. Okay, the moderates were the leaders who wanted reforms so that Indians could live a better life under the British rule. Okay, whereas the radicals or the extremists were the leaders who wanted the British to leave India. Okay, to leave India, and they demanded Swaraj, that is self-rule. Okay, Tilak declared, that is Bal Gangadhar Tilak declared that Swaraj is my birthright and I shall have it. Okay, Bal Gangadhar Tilak also introduced the newspaper called Kesari. Okay, in which He spoke out against the British. He wanted to arouse the feeling of patriotism among the Indians. Okay, so that's it with our today's class. In our next session, we shall know more about the partition of Bengal and the Swadeshi movement, activities of the revolutionaries, World War I and after. Okay, till then, do take care of yourself. Goodbye.